Welcome to the Good Enough Gaming Podcast, where a bunch of 30-something nerds talk about all things gaming and the like. We are your average enthusiasts that try our best to dive into all the gaming, shows, and movies that we nerds like to indulge in. We celebrate our favorites, and we shit on a few duds along the way. I'm your host, Kyle, and I'm joined by Jordan, Trevor, and Daryl. Here's a taste of what your ear holes are getting blasted with today. This went way off track, but
it's
we're talking about good pricing.
Right. Yeah, okay.
Ninja Turtles wins.
Welcome to the financial segment of this podcast. Bitcoin?
You buy crypto? Yeah. Today's episode is entitled "RockSteady as She Goes." Should I read this, Daryl? Is this intro meant to be read in like a Ninja Turtles voice?
Yeah, just have a little flair with it. Have some fun.
You gotta say it in RockSteady's voice, dude.
All right. Oh boy, how about that one? What up, dudes? Ready for some mayhem? I'm sure everyone else was shell-shocked with the amount of rad TMNT fun we've been able to indulge in lately. Certainly got our Fillet. The new TMNT movie, Mutant, Mayhem, and Shredder's Revenge DLC go mano a mano in our latest tubular episode, all about the sewer-surfing, pizza-loving, butt-kicking tortoises. You know we couldn't just do this without our number one shellhead and master of all things Toitles. That's right, the rabbit is out of the bag, and it's not Usagi. It's Joey. Time to ante up, vibe, and see if these new additions are a Bee-Bop or a B-Flop. Cowabunga, dudes!
That was awesome.
Good job, pal.
Might be the best intro. Yeah, best intro of the season.
And B-Flop, that's fucking awesome. I'm stealing that, dude.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
All right, so if you couldn't tell, folks, we've got a special Toitle guest back with us today. We've got Joey from the Ninja Toitles Instagram. He was here the first time when the Shredder's Revenge came out, and I mean, it would be a crime not to have him back for Mutant Mayhem and for the DLC. So, Joey, welcome. Thank you again for coming.
No, thank you guys. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it's been a minute, dude, since we talked last, especially with, I can't believe Shredder's Revenge has been out that long already.
Yeah.
We don't talk about how much time has passed, okay? We just know that it happened.
Right.
We were there for it. There was all six of us playing Shredder's Revenge, losing our minds.
Yeah.
Just chaos.
It's still 2019, isn't it?
What year is it?
Man, the Ninja Turtles have had this like big sort of resurgence. I think we should start with the movie first, and then we'll go to the DLC. Personally, I took my kids to see the movie, and did anyone else come? Trevor, did you come with us for that?
I was there.
Yeah, he was there.
What a good memory you have, pal.
Dad brain,
bro. The only reason I know it's Wednesday is because we're recording a podcast. Okay. I was pleasantly surprised by it. I think my wife didn't quite enjoy it as much. I loved it. I thought the voice acting casting was phenomenal. We'll get into gripes later, but the animation style and the legs, bless you. The animation style, I absolutely loved. Joey, I hope you've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it. I saw it in the theater once, and then I've honestly probably watched it at least definitely two, maybe three times since I went to iTunes. I downloaded it pretty much day one.
Nice.
It's funny because I've been using it for like inspiration. Like some nights I'm just like thinking of some ideas I want to work on. I'm like, I'll throw this on for 20 minutes and just kind of pay a little bit more attention to it.
Nice.
What was your thoughts on the art style of this film?
Yeah, it's a pretty big change.
I would say, yeah, it was so different, and I was like sucked in instantly because like it gives you that illusion, I think, of like a claymation kind of style.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then watching actually some of the the extra like behind the scenes stuff on iTunes, Seth Rogen showed like just a mailbox and like how it was 3D, but with just like the marks over it and stuff. But they could still turn it in 3D. And I'm like, I don't understand this shit whatsoever. But it looks insane.
Perspective. What is it?
Man, yeah, it just made no sense. But I thought it looked gorgeous. The colors, like the whole when they're in the bowling alley, like the way the blacklight colors like laid out on everybody. Like, that's like one of my favorite like scenes visually in the whole movie.
I thought it was nuts. Like everything looked like it was made out of paper and like drawn with crayon, but then it was like rendered. And so I was just like, whoa, like this is crazy.
That was wild. I think that was definitely something that like Across the Spider-Verse and like Miles Morales kind of reopened where people was like, we don't have to do just like pure anime cartoon. Like you can kind of go a little crazy with it.
Yeah, even when they show the karate montage VHS tapes, like that threw me off. Like, or like Ferris Bueller, right? Like I was like, I did not expect that whatsoever.
Yeah,
the movie in the park was Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, they're showing the real movie. Yeah, I was like, okay, but I liked it. I thought it was still great.
Jordan, what? Jordan, weigh in here, buddy. What do you?
Yeah, no, I mean, you guys have kind of hit the nail on the head. I think. You know, the art style is very reminiscent of like the Spider-Verse movies. It's got some similarities there. Obviously, those movies are fantastic. This one has a little bit more of like a comic book, rougher, rough around the edges sort of thing. And honestly, it fits the universe and the characters incredibly well. I mean, I took my girlfriend to this, who is not much of a nerd or into like comic books, but obviously she knows of the Ninja Turtles, and
who doesn't?
She came out of the theater and was like, that was fantastic. She was like, I loved that movie. She had such a good time and was laughing in her seats, and so like pretty damn good for sure.
Now, I saw it a little while ago, and it's my memory is a little bit hazy. But at one point, was there the original like ninja rap in it?
Yes, I have.
Yes,
I have the whole soundtrack pulled up here.
It's in the garage.
Amazing. The soundtrack is phenomenal. But when he crashes into that one car when they're trying to go get the scooter back, the Go Ninja Go.
It's plays.
Yes.
I do appreciate that there was a lot of like callbacks for original like early fans who now are in their 30s and 40s, kind of like the Super Mario movie, where there was some like shit hidden in there that was like, oh, you played this a long time ago.
Yeah,
the old school hip hop that was in this movie was unreal.
Yes,
like
the soundtrack, phenomenal.
That was Seth Rogen 100% being like, parents are taking their kids to this. They grew up in like the 80s, 90s. Like this is their music, because that was, I would say 90% of the soundtrack I'm looking at. Like you got, like, when was the last time you heard an Old Dirty Bastard song? Not in Shredder's Revenge, right? Like, that was the only other time they're like, bring it all back. Bring back all the good like New York classic hip hop. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Annie Up being the song when they start fighting the fly whale. I was like, yes. Oh God, I love the song. I love this song.
That's the best, is like they could bridge two completely different generations and make it enjoyable for both. I saw kids in the theater that were having just as much fun, that knew nothing about any of like those little call outs or Easter eggs. And then you've got all the people my age or a little bit older that are just laughing their asses off because of all the other things that they threw in there. Like the fan service was
that
really
Disney
good.
Pixar feeling where kids are going to love it, and then adults are actually going to love it because, like you said, they raise that like maturity and the humor that doesn't push the envelope, but parents get it, or adults get it, I should say.
Yeah. Did anyone catch like the super funny song? Like in the midst, once they had met like the rest of the mutants, like the nostalgia I had in that moment was amazing. Did anyone watch the stupid He-Man video? What's going on? Like on YouTube, like original YouTube. Yeah. That's like the version of that song that's playing in the movie.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh my God,
that's awesome.
What's going on? It's like so accentuated and so stupid. I was dying. I was like, this is the best. I never thought this would ever make it into a movie. It's like,
That's some Seth Rogen like mind meld stoner like idea stuff right there. So hey man, I know it's funny.
Considered the center of the internet. Like that's that's what YouTube video is like. Oh, it was incredible. I was dying. I love
this is what happens when you give a stoner millions and millions of dollars to go and make a movie and just give him the green light to do whatever he wants.
Just do what he wants. Yeah.
Oh. Did we also catch like the Ice Cube song with Baxter's Fly? Like, where was it? The car chase? Or no, it was. Sorry, I'm remembering now. It's all coming back to me. I'm Celine Dion. No, when he jumps, like when he's in the back of the van in that car chase, he says what he says to them is an Ice Cube lyric.
Police at my door, right?
Yeah. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's it's specifically for old people, like for older people. No kid knows what the hell that means.
Shrek moments where you're just like, oh, that's a joke from my age. Like you wouldn't get this, but I will.
But on top of that, I wanted to hear like what are everyone's thoughts on the cast? Because I got to say, like, this is probably one of the better cast, like especially voice acted movies in quite a while.
Yeah. Joey, what do you think? Since you're our resident
Joey
Toitle expert.
I mean, it's so funny how pissed off people were when they announced this movie, and they're like, "These kids, these turtles sound like kids," like because they are fucking kids, dude. Like,
fucking teenagers.
So many people were pissed off. Like, oh, this one. He's like, oh, people are like, oh, Donnie sounds like a girl, and I was like, I bet when you were 13, you sound like a girl, dude. Like, all these people got so mad about it, right? And then you think about it, like, think of every variation of Ninja Turtles you've ever watched, TV show, cartoon, movie, like. No teenagers have ever played the fucking teenager role. Like, it made perfect sense, and I loved it even more because I'm not familiar with any of these kids. I think someone mentioned the Raph character. I think is a little bit bigger, or maybe one of these kids was already on Nickelodeon. I'm not familiar, but like I love not being able to place their voices and think of like the character.
No, it's great. Absolutely. It gave them that sense of sort of being like an underground hero.
Bring back the 80s. I want all my teenagers to be played by 30-year-olds, please.
Oh, dude.
I was just gonna say it's like every movie trope ever.
Yeah. Does anybody remember what Mayhem, the Grease people look like?
It's horrible.
Oh.
But I mean, like aside from that, like you got Ice Cube. Like there's people in here I couldn't even like recognize in
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd, like
every time he spoke, Malone was fucking hilarious, dude.
Yeah,
every time Paul Rudd said anything.
Post Malone was in it.
He was Ray Fillet.
That's why he's Ray Fillet.
John Cena's Rocksteady.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Jackie Chan Splinter, obviously.
I thought Seth Rogen's Bee-Bop was fucking garbage.
Well, he didn't have that many lines, so
he had enough where I was like, wow, he is the worst one out of all the mutants. I think like his voice was garbage, like real garbage. I thought.
Yeah. How did we feel about having like all of the major turtle villain or like baddies in one go? What did you think about that? Because I thought
there's still lots of other ones, and
there's so many.
I just liked it because Shredder wasn't in it. I was like, what an interesting take to like make it so that it's about somebody else for a change. Like
that's what I think was so big.
You're actually validating these other characters. Like.
They took such a chance on not even choosing a different villain. We're gonna create something that no one's ever done. Superfly's never existed in any TMNT. It's like that takes I think a lot of guts just to do that.
Yeah. Because Superfly was sort of an offshoot of like Baxter Stockman, right?
Right.
Well, Baxter Stockman does like in the old stuff he has like a fly head, but he's a human.
Yeah. Yeah. But this was sort of bridging the gap that way and making it all about the mutations and the mutants.
Offspring. Yeah.
Ooze.
You're covered with the slime. Call it ooze.
Ooze.
This rolls off the tongue better. Like all of that. I was like,
and it's like, this is considering we work with teenagers regularly. Yeah. It's like, this sounds like teenagers.
Same thing. Even like the montages of doing dumb shit on your cell phone and recording it.
Yeah.
Like just
throwing ninja stars and shit.
Bringing it into the new age. Like this isn't the 80s or 90s Ninja Turtles, right? Like this is new age stuff, and I thought they nailed some of that too. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I loved is the banter between the four turtles. I thought was fantastic throughout the entire movie. And like, yeah, a lot of it is definitely modernized, and a lot of the lingo is obviously moved that direction. But like, one of my favorite parts in the entire movie, I'm just laughing my fucking ass off in the theater, was the bacon, egg, and cheese part. And it is so stupid. And it is, but I'm just sitting there like, fuck, if I was 13 years old, I would find this the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. And so like, it just encapsulates that stupidness that a lot of kids that age have. And like, fuck, bacon, egg, and cheese. I'm always going to remember that part in this movie.
I just love like the random, like the slang that's used. Kyle and I will have a different experience with understanding this than most. But it was like when April O'Neil's like, "You guys are acting sus," and then he's like, "Oh, she called us sus," and I was like, "Oh god!" I was like, "This is the most teenager thing possible to say in this moment." I was like, "That's how you know it's perfect, because they're actually acting like teenagers. They're acted by teenagers. They're using the lingo that is, of their age." That's how I was like, well, I'm aged out. Like, what was like rad and tubular and bodacious and everything from my Ninja Turtles is gone. Now it's all, who's got the Riz?
Yeah.
So I have a question for you guys. Did you know that, like, canonly in their story, the Ninja Turtles are black teenagers? And isn't
there an episode where they change into humans and they're
they're all black teenagers.
Well, yeah, they're in New York.
It's the more
supposed to be like social outcast system. Like, wasn't that like the original messaging or something?
I'm not sure, but like recently in like more recent comics, there was always like theories that the Ninja Turtles were black, and then it's actually come to light recently that they were actually confirmed based on their origin stories that they were, they got transformed into humans and they were all black teenagers.
That makes sense.
And it makes perfect sense. Sorry, Joe, you were gonna
fun fact.
No, I had no clue, because it's funny, because like the problem in this day and age is I've seen people write that on like Instagram, like on my shit, and then I'm like, is this person being an asshole, or is it like because there's right because there's so much shit right now that people are like, again, they're so like, why the fuck is April black? It's like, what? Like it's fucking horrible. Right, exactly, right. So it's horrible when I see people that post that shit like that, and then I'm like, wait, are they celebrating it, or are they being assholes about it? You know what I mean? And that always fucks me up, because it's just like, I almost have to do some investigating and go to this fucking person's page, and I'm like, okay, no, I don't think they meant anything by this whatsoever. Or I'm like, oh, this fucking person's blocked. Peace.
Like, I see a Confederate flag.
Yeah.
Blocked.
Yeah, right. Like, see you later, dude. You know what I mean? So that throws me off. But that's cool. I had no clue about that at all.
Yeah, so this was actually earlier this year, and it was like in a comic book scene. They were transformed into like their human form, and they were all black. I sent you guys a link to peruse real quick.
Was that in the Power Ranger?
Yes,
TMNT?
in the Power Rangers crossover.
I think that's the second. The animals.
That's the second series, I think, out of the comics.
Yeah,
because isn't it kind of the same thing where they're trying to go to school? Like, don't they go to school one day? Like, kind of like the way this movie ends. Like, aren't they trying to like be normal kids? I thought that was kind of what like part of them getting transformed was they were like, let's go to school.
That was a bit of the vibe at the end. Yeah.
I can't wait to talk about that ending. I'm really excited to talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. So obviously, like, spoilers going forward, but
if we didn't ruin it already,
if it's not ruined already.
Yeah. And dude, when Casey Jones show up, so sick, dude. What a great part. Oh shit! Sorry, I didn't want to spoil it.
Yeah. Okay. Can I just say that Jackie Chan as Master Splinter was like perfect?
I laughed every fucking word that came out of his mouth.
I love Jackie Chan.
Every word.
Some things just make sense. Like,
yeah. Well, 100%.
That's a casting that just it casts itself pretty much.
It kind of reminds me of Jackie Chan when he was in the new Karate Kid with
Jaden Smith.
Yeah.
Like kind of like passing the torch idea of like, okay, well, you know, Jackie Chan maybe isn't going to act as much anymore, but like putting him in something like this, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But you know that like Seth Rogen was just high as shit and being like, you know, it'd be really funny.
Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Just reminds me of like the throwback Jackie Chan Adventures animated show. It's like, yeah, they just throw back to that. So good.
Jackie.
Yeah. Okay, so Joey, let's hit it with the ending. Let's hear your thoughts.
So before the secret ending, when Casey shows up. No, I'm kidding. The part where so the reason I did not give this movie a 10 out of 10, the reason I gave it a 9 out of 10 is I did not like the idea of them going to school. And there's a number of reasons, because one, I don't know. I was like, well, how do you go from here? Right? Like, how do you, they must have been like, dude, if this even does remotely well, we know we're going to do a sequel. Right. So I'm just curious how that goes forward. Right. But my prediction is that, so now you have the other mutants, right? That they live in the sewer now with Splinter, and they got to watch Splinter and Scumbug go at it all day, like, which is disgusting. And now, but if you think about it, they're the same age, right, as the Turtles. So why aren't they going to high school, right? So, like, I feel like they're gonna get pissed off real
Splinter,
quick.
You cradle robber.
They're gonna be like, why am I hanging out here? Oh my god, I didn't even think about that with Scumbug. Dude, that's oh Jesus.
Is it like a dog? Is this like a dog years thing? It's okay because it's like
a whole other episode, dude. Holy shit! I didn't even think of that. Oh my god, dude! I didn't even think of that. But so this is my prediction. Then is that Bee-Bop and RockSteady especially are going to get so pissed off, feel like they're taken for granted. They're like, why are we stuck down here in the sewers while the Turtles get to live it up? Like, we help too. And that's how Bee-Bop and RockSteady, I think, are going to peace out. They're going to, I think, fuck shit up in the sewer, and then they're going to leave. And then, you know, however Shredder gets involved, I think they're going to team up with Shredder then. That's how they'll become the true bad guys.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe prediction for sure.
Yeah.
Because I mean, to your point, that ending, it's a very heartwarming ending, but you're 100% right. Like, where do you go with the Turtles from there?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm hoping it was all just a fever dream. Like, it was
unless you're doing like the Spider-Man thing, and like Doctor Strange is going to come and make everyone forget, and then we're going to get a multiverse of Turtles and iterations of
the Turtleverse
Power Rangers. Yeah, it's just like, oh my god, the Turtleverse, the Turtles in time.
There better be a Ninja Toitle in the Turtleverse, because I'll be pissed. Yeah, right.
That'd be hilarious.
Straight.
But I totally agree. Like, the whole point of the Ninja Turtles is to like be underground, like, and that's kind of what draws some of their character traits, is like wanting to be, you know, the whole part of the world.
I want to be in a real thing.
Because I don't think they're going to run with the school thing whatsoever. I think I have no clue how they're going to get away from it, but I feel like they're definitely not going to run with that.
They're going to get found at school and chased out of school immediately, and it will be never safe for them or their friends to go back.
Never
to school.
safe for the kids.
I want to, like, Joey, I know you gave us your score of 9 out of 10, just based on the ending and the continuity issues that it presents. Trevor, how'd you feel about it?
I think I'm about the same. I think overall, like we've talked about, the movie's hilarious. It does a really good job with pacing. Every once in a while, they just go a little too nuts with the graphics. I think like it's already kind of an odd art style, and then they start throwing and splashing shit on top of that. And so every once in a while, there's a couple times where I'm like, this is like just the visual diarrhea of it sometimes gets a little much. Yeah. But overall, like we've said, voice acting is awesome. Like, I think this is a great reintroduction of the Ninja Turtles, because we've done this so many times. And I do appreciate that they didn't just do, you know, Shredder, the Ooze, you know, the rerun of the 90s Ninja Turtles. So that helps.
For sure. That's Jordan, where you at?
Yeah, I'm sitting at a 9 as well. I mean, it hits so many good notes. I I'd love to see where a sequel goes. I mean, obviously, spoilies, the after credit scene in the movie does show Shredder. So, like, how is that going to play out? Is there going to be a trilogy with them going into space and all that shit? Like, who knows? But yeah, the music was great. Voice acting was awesome. Paul Rudd, fucking hilarious in every scene he's in.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it grows back. Like, fuck.
Mondo Gecko was my favorite character in that whole thing.
So good, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have any like major complaints. Just yeah, I think the ending was maybe a little bit of a cop out, a little bit too that like, oh, it's a kids movie, we need to make it super heartwarming and like everybody's accepted in this world, yay! It's like, okay, let's move on.
Yeah,
but yeah, 9 out of 10 for me.
For myself, I would say, I mean, you guys have made all the points. I found the whole plot where like all of the mutants turn on Superfly was like, I was like,
no, I like
it.
That,
it was
was
kind of convenient. I don't know. I wanted to see all those mutant villains stay villains and not just like, we're one big happy friend family. You know, because I mean, I usually associate Bee-Bop and RockSteady with Shredder. So, I mean, you know, like your predictions, maybe they go off the rails in the second movie and don't like what they're being given.
Mondo's a good guy. More, that's the thing, right? And then also, Ray Fillet's also a good guy.
Yeah. So
yeah,
maybe we'll see some more villains.
Like they'll probably stick with the Turtles.
Flip flopping.
Yeah.
And then maybe Leatherhead joined. Yeah, Leatherhead was bad. Wingnut was bad. Yeah.
It's like
Genghis Frog. Genghis Frog was a good guy.
Genghis Frog's design was so funny. Like, like he was so small, and all the old stuff, he's like the same size as everybody else. And this one, he's just tiny.
Yeah,
looks like a Goomba. Like he's just so small.
Oh my god, I'd be very curious to see how they do like Krang.
Yeah,
that'd be a good one.
On that kind of on that note, like Joey, what would you like to see in a sequel? Like
nice.
Like this was so good.
Yeah.
You know, how do you kind of elevate it from here?
I have no idea where it goes at this point. Like I would love to see something with like if Dimension X kind of even exists. Just because I feel like the art would be insane what they could do with that.
Oh my god, that was so cool.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that what's her name? I'm sure this is a given. Maybe you guys thought this as well, but like I forgot what her name is, Cynthia whatever, Ucom or because that's the name of the Krang, I think, from the comics.
Ultrum or
something like that. I'm hoping she's going to be the android body for Krang. Like she was wearing the colors, like she looked like the android body already throughout the whole movie, which I thought was super cool.
Her face was slanted, so
And then I don't know. I'd love to see if there's a way. Maybe it's too easy to throw a Casey Jones in there somehow, but I don't know. I can't imagine the art they would go with it, but I know I'd be excited. If someone was like, oh, dude, they were going to reveal Casey tomorrow for the new movie, like I would be super excited to
I hope Casey Jones is like the biggest jock at the school that they go to.
Right.
He plays on every team. His backpack is just full of all the equipment he needs to go to every practice.
Played by Mark Wahlberg.
I was gonna say, like, who would be your dream casting of Casey Jones?
Oh my gosh,
it's a tough one.
Tom Hanks.
To infinity, Goongala. Oh wait, that's the wrong guy. That's Tim Allen.
I think you got to get someone like Canadian. You got to get someone because he plays like he's always got hockey and stuff. You got to get someone like ultra Canadian.
Keanu Reeves.
Ryan Reynolds.
I was going to say Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Ryan Reynolds just plays Ryan Reynolds in the movie, like he does in everything else.
We love him for it.
Right.
And we love him for it. Canadian national treasure.
I think it'd be hard because whoever you'd really want, it would just be funny as a standalone. It's like whoever I would want, I don't even know if it would work in like a new movie, you know, with the comparison to the other cast. I'm just trying to think of like the Seth Rogen crew And I'm like, man, who in that whole crew could be a great like Casey Jones, you know?
Franco.
Yeah,
That's pretty funny.
I could see it. I could definitely see it.
That's on your Cradle Robber episode, dude.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, next episode. Yeah,
I did not get her.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Okay, so I think we skipped Daryl, actually. Daryl, what's your rating?
Thanks
Sorry.
for just skipping my rating.
I remember.
Sorry, I had questions.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
We got sidetracked.
So that never happens to us.
No.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I think I would give it an 8.5, and that's.
Okay.
I really I love the art style. I love the casting. The music was phenomenal. My problem was the entire ending. So not just the school thing. What lost me was that the fly, that Superfly, was not just melded to a whale, but everything within vicinity. And I was like, how the fuck did a horse get attached to him? Just all that stuff. I was just like, what is
horse?
It's the Central Park horse cops.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, I was just I thought it would have been better if it was just the whale.
Oh, it could have been the zoo. There is the Central Park Zoo as well. Yeah,
that's how he gets most of the animals. I thought was all from the zoo. Yeah. Every time he takes his stuff, it's like a new animal.
Yeah,
I just was just I thought it'd be better if it was just the whale. If it was just some weird fly whale combination thing where the whale had arms and legs and whatever. I was just like, this is too much. This is reminds me of some other really shitty animated stuff where all these bodies become one thing, and it's okay.
I think they were just going for the action figures left out in the sun in the summertime, and they're all just getting melted together.
The melted crayon strategy.
Have you guys seen the photo yet of that? Because they're making the Super Duper Fly action figure.
Oh God!
So it'll
fuck
yeah, dude, it's gonna be awesome. I'm definitely gonna pick that up.
Yes.
They just take all the separate action figures and just chuck them in the microwave together, and you just get what you get. They're each one is unique. Each one is unique.
Yeah, just nuke them.
Well,
all right. So I think that just about wraps it up for Mutant Mayhem. I do believe that we have another dad guest with us. So it only seems fitting that we're going to take a stroll into dad reviews.
Papa! Papa! Papa!
Dad review.
Papa! Papa!
All right. So for those of you that might just be tuning in with us for the first time, dad reviews is a small segment where we talk about things that dads can play. Games that allow us to, with a short amount of time that we have to give to games, stuff that we want to play and isn't so punishing that we quit the next day. To start, I'm going to get our guest Joey to lead us into his first dad review.
First dad review. All right. So I got COVID in the beginning of August this summer. For the first time I got COVID, and it kicked the shit out of me.
For the first time?
For the first time. My wife's had it. My daughter's had it. But this was the first time I got it, and it was really bad. However, that was the day, and my wife said, well, you're going to stay in the room the whole time because we have a 7-year-old and we have an 18-month-old. So I'm like, we can't get, especially the 18-month-old sick. So anyways, I'm in our bedroom, and I bring my Switch in there, and then I see that Pikmin 4 has a demo. And I thought, I've played Pikmin before, and I think Pikmin sucks. But Pikmin 4 is amazing. I don't know what it is. Maybe I need to go back. I played it on the Wii U. I think they had a version on the Wii U that was free at one point, and I was like, this game sucks. I'm like, why did I even bother with this?
The Wii U should have just been free at one point.
Yeah, no kidding.
Free U.
So, anyways, so I download the demo, and then I'm playing the hell out of it. And then what was dope is how far you progress in the demo will carry right over as soon as you buy the physical copy. And I was like, that's awesome. It's dude, I must have played 3.5 hours of the demo. At least 3.5, 4 hours. I was like, dude, this demo's longer. I just really suck at this game. It's one of the two. But then it's when I ended, it's it'll carry this over. And I was like, damn, this is so smart. I wish more demos would do this. So I bought it like a couple weeks later. But again, being a dad, you know, working 40 plus hours a week, married, 2 kids, you know, there's a lot of stuff you jump into and you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't even know what the buttons are. I haven't played this in a month. I'm like, what am I? And then by the time you figure out how to play it, you're done playing it for the fucking night. So you're like, cool, I'm going to forget it in next month. But
well, fuck.
Yeah. So with Pikmin, Pikmin 4 is awesome. It looks beautiful as much as it can on the Switch hardware, I think, at this point. But again, what's really cool is that you're these little space guys and you're going to explore these little mini worlds. And then there's an underworld. And in the mini world, a whole day, but in real time is 15 minutes. And there's a lot of shit that you can do in that 15 minutes. And then if you go underground, time stops completely. So you can take your time underground. But for this game, I was like, I've been slowly picking away at it because I can play for 15 minutes for a day, or I can play 30 minutes for 2 days. And you feel like you're still making some kind of progress towards the game. Where again, I've spent hours into a game and I'm like, shit, my save time has jumped up 3.5 hours and I've done like nothing. So definitely Pikmin 4, like I said, especially if you did not like Pikmin, like I did not whatsoever, and I don't know what was wrong with me at the time, but this new one's it's great. I highly recommend it.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Pikmin 4 on the Wii or on the Switch.
Don't play that one. Don't play the one.
A dad review for a dad attention span.
Right. All right, mine for this week. I actually picked up. Dad. Oh my god, ADHD dad. Fuck.
It's him right in the soul.
Oh man. So mine this week, I picked up on the sale in the PlayStation Store. It was one that Jordan and I have talked about, you know, sort of looking at and sort of humming and hawing about. I'm glad I picked it up on sale. But Evil West, it is a post-Civil War alternate universe where vampires exist and, you know, like steampunk technology. It's a bit of a mess, but
it feels like Hugh Jackman's Van Helsing.
Yeah, actually,
but just with Wild Wild West.
Yeah. That's what I said. Turtles throwback for everyone.
So it's, you know, the storyline is, I mean, so far I'm only a few hours into it because time, but I've really enjoyed it. The fighting, it's fairly sort of like cookie cutter in how it goes. You'll like jump into a new area and there'll be like waves of enemies to fight and that sort of thing. But the storyline's fun. It's sort of a bit more of a mindless action game. There's a lot of like gadgets and different weapons and stuff you can use. Right now I've got like my 6-shooter, I've got like a rifle, and I've got my boomstick, which is like a double barrel sawed-off shotgun. But you also have like this gauntlet that can do a bunch of different things.
Of course.
Did
you name of the year?
Did you mention, Kyle? I'm so sorry. Did you say, is this like a third person, first person, top down? Like,
it's a third person like action sort of game with some RPG upgrade elements to it. Not a lot of like it's not like gear based so much, but it is like RPG,
like third person, kind of like a Resident Evil.
Yeah. Okay. Lots of dodge stuff, lots of unique and like fucking crazy enemies. There's times where I've had to like pause it after, you know, a new boss is introduced. I'm like, what the fuck is that? But it's all based around like
time to go to bed.
This vampire hunting society.
Dude, I've been falling asleep with the controller in the hand. That's how fucking tired I've been, dude. All of a sudden, I'm like, what the fuck? I've been playing for 2 hours? No, I was sleeping with the controller in my hand, dude. Like,
been there before.
Again, just resting my eyes.
There's a whole new
great thing with this game
in my sleep.
Oh my god. One great thing with this, you can pause it. So if you get asked to do something or get up to help your kids or need one more book or
put up a shelf or do a house project.
That's a great point, dude.
Redo your bathroom.
Pause it for a bit.
Yeah, rip up your floors.
Rip up a floor and redo a bathroom.
Fuck me.
Oh, Christ.
So, third person action.
Home Depot is Kyle's second home.
Third person action vampire killer. A little bit mindless, which is great sometimes. You don't want to have to like plan out your attacks like Baldur's Gate 3 or anything like that.
Yeah.
Evil West, pick it up on sale. It's a good time if you want to kill some vampires.
I kind of love the fact that like these mindless third person action games that are like the PS3 era generation.
Yeah.
I love that those are coming back a little bit again. Like Evil West, Atlas Fallen, like it's just easy to pick up. You can fuck around in them, and you don't have to spend 70 hours in The Witcher to feel like you got your money's worth out of it.
No, it's forgiving too. Like it knows you're gonna die, so it just sort of resets you at the start of where
it knows.
Yeah.
Like it's a challenge enough, and I'm only playing on like the regular mode. There's still 2 difficulty levels above that, and I don't know how anyone fucking plays that because it's awful.
Well, it's
however, just sweats, and some of us are just good enough. Okay.
Yes. This game does have difficulty based trophies, so it's immediate no for me that way.
I mean,
I choose super easy. Any game I'm playing, dude.
Yeah.
Play for me.
I don't got time for that shit.
I'll just watch. Just play for me. Like that's the difficulty I choose. Because I don't have fucking time. I don't have fucking time to get frustrated and pissed off. Like, oh, it's gonna take me 3 hours to figure out this boss. Like, fuck that, dude. I don't have the time.
And the guys give me shit about not being an Elden Lord, and that's why.
Okay, we could have helped get you through all of that. That's not why.
That one's on.
Probably couldn't have beat the first boss in that game, dude. Jesus.
Quitter.
I don't have patience, dude. I don't know how you guys can play games like that. I have no patience for it, dude. It's like one hit and you're fucking dead.
Yeah. Well, speaking of games that you can play, easy jump in, Shredder's Revenge.
Look at that transition, Trevor.
Look at that.
That one's a dog named Segway.
Righteous Brothers. So, the new Shredder's Revenge DLC, for those of you that don't know, how do you not know? Why are you listening to a Ninja Turtles episode when you haven't played the DLC?
They're here to learn.
Yeah, what the fuck?
The DLC brings across survival mode, which is a ton of fun. It brings across some new art styles within it, which is like the black and white comic book, and 2 new playable characters, Usagi Yojimbo and Karai.
Oh, Jimbo.
Which is a Yojimbo. Karai, which is a Foot Clan ninja.
Did you know
she wants to be ninja?
Oh, did you know Usagi is just Japanese for rabbit?
Nice.
I did not. That's
Rabbit
awesome.
Yojimbo.
Rabbit Yojimbo.
Yeah. It's accurate.
Yeah.
It's accurate.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
So Joey, you've had a chance to play this, yeah?
Yeah.
Why would
absolutely.
I ask? Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. I did. I've really been enjoying it, but yeah, I've been playing a lot.
Awesome. How far have you got into survival mode?
Yeah, give us a breakdown. What's going on?
What's
over
your
there?
max level, bro?
I think I made it to like level 7 or 8. But again, it's not by myself. Like I got lucky. Like I feel like I can only progress if I'm with 5 other people. Like if I'm with like 1 or I'm with like 2, I'm just like, oh, this kind of sucks. But when you got at least 4 or 5 people in there, I'm not jumping off of this until we die. Kind of at that point, because I feel like you'll make it that much further in survival.
Yeah.
And then of course,
I think we only made it like level 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't feel like we made it very far.
No,
but we're not very good.
The leaderboards say I only see like I see like 12 or 13 in the leaderboards, but I haven't. Weeks, but
like the international leaderboard is insane.
I love that they included a leaderboard in this.
Yes.
Like in such a arcade style game, there's like, put the leaderboard up there. Fuck it. Like,
I mean, I'll be honest. I I would die to have. I would much rather like survival's fun. I love it, and I love like the different goodies between each level. But I was like, dude, I would have paid another $40 if you told me we're going to extend the story. It's 5 new levels, 5 new bosses.
Yeah,
I would have been like, dude, I would have preferred that. Like, again, survival's dope, but if they can just add different bosses and different stages, I'd be like, I don't care how much you want, I would pay for it.
Well, I honestly thought that this was going to have some of that, and so that just shows you how closely I looked at it before buying it. But
Jordan was like, it's $9.
Yeah,
everyone buy it now.
The price isn't wrong. Like, they're so smart with that, dude. Like, how can you say no to that?
Right?
Like, it's totally worth the $8, $9 or whatever. Like, it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
But for $9, you can buy half of an armor set from Blizzard.
if that.
You can get some new shoes for your horse in Diablo.
So you can get a backpack that goes on your horse's ass in Diablo.
Yeah.
I was finally about to buy that game for my PS5, and then my 2 buddies who were hardcore like, "Fuck that! Don't do it, dude." they were obsessed.
I would give it a bit.
Yeah,
and they're like, "You gotta wait till next. Is it next season? Or I don't even know what is that
next year?
Just
give them 6 months
next
to
year. Yeah, he's like,
give him a year.
He's like,
yeah. Standard Diablo, because I mean, this went way off track, but
it's
we're talking about good pricing.
Okay.
Ninja Turtles wins.
Welcome to the financial segment of this podcast. Bitcoin?
Do you buy crypto? Yeah. Brothers.
With how successful this game has been, Joey, do you think we'll get like a true full-blown sequel from this dev, or do you think this is like a one-off with maybe a couple expansions? Like, what do you think is going to go there?
Yeah, that's a great question, dude. I think it'd be silly for them to make a sequel, because I think even though I feel like this game is definitely made more for our generation, like kids still love it, right? Like, kids are playing the hell out of it. So the kids aren't going to be mad if we get what we want as adults now, right? If you give me more bosses that I haven't seen, you give me whatever, like, I'm going to love it. And my 7-year-old daughter's still going to love the game. She's not going to be like, oh, this is outdated. Like, I finally just showed her the original. I just showed her the 87 series. She couldn't make it past episode 2. She was so bored, dude. She's like, I don't like the way this looks. Like, she's so honest. And she felt so bad. She felt like she was like letting me down. And I was like, not mad whatsoever. She's like, no,
Dad, I'm so sorry.
It's like, it doesn't hold up, honey.
She goes, it's really good. But I'm like, you never say it's really good. But she said it like that. I felt so bad. But anyways, I think they'd be smart.
Good.
Yeah. I think they'd be smart to say, maybe summer of next year again, hey, expansion, we're going to, 10 new levels.
Throw some more levels, bosses. A couple more characters.
Like, I'm obsessed with the artwork of just the stages. Like, there's times where I don't even progress throughout the stage, because I like to see the foot graffiti in the background and like, what's over here? And like, I just caught that they had the second, what's the shop called in the 1990 movie? April shop. It's like second.
Is it second to none?
No, the antique store, right? What the hell is it called?
Yeah.
Anyways,
Shoot.
I caught that behind. There's like these it's like a brick wall, and part of the bricks have fallen. And it's right behind it. I was like, I didn't catch that. I mean, maybe it's been there since the beginning, but again, those little things obviously mean more to us than my 7-year-old who's like, I don't know, what the hell is that supposed to be? Second time around, is that it?
Second time around. There it goes.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, I think if they did the latter, dude, I think if they did the expansion, like there'd be they would lose no money. They're not going to make as much money. They're going to say, cool, now you got to buy another one of these. Like, especially these days,
true.
like parents are like, what are you talking about? I just bought you a Ninja Turtles game. What's this other Ninja Turtles game? Like, just expand it.
You want me to buy you another NBA game?
Aren't they all the same? It's the same 4 turtles. Like, they don't change. Well,
I definitely.
And they don't need to upgrade the graphics.
Cowabunga
The graphics are perfect. The graphics are beautiful. It's not like we need something advanced. Like, no, keep this. Like, maybe introduce the last Ronin somehow, dude. And you're Mikey, but you have all that. Now your special moves are like, boom, that's a Donatello move. Boom, that's a Raphael move. Like, how cool would that be?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, they have announced some Mutant Mayhem is apparently getting some sort of a partner game, which I don't know what they're going to do with that.
Someone said the company makes like little kid games. I'm not familiar with it.
We'll see. Hopefully it's good. But then they have announced that there is progress being made on a Last Ronin third-person RPG game, which
similar
I think everyone in this call right now is like pretty rock hard under the table about like.
If they can just
I am RockSteady, baby. I am RockSteady for that one.
I may have went from 6 to midnight when they announced it. So yeah,
Bee-Flop to Bee-Bop. Good callback. Well done.
Oh,
he's gonna use it forever. I feel so honored,
dude. It's ingrained. I want to make a T-shirt out of it, dude.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Is that the licensing rights right there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. This is a verbal contract.
You have to send me one.
This is a verbal contract.
But yeah, if they could play like Spider-Man, God of War, like Arkham, like dude, sign me the fuck up.
That would be totally so dope.
Oh man, Arkham fighting system with that would be so good.
And you guys have all read?
Being able to use all the weapons too.
I haven't.
Not all of it.
I need to get on it.
Oh shit! Well, that could be again. I know that could be another episode because the gameplay is good if they do it right based off the comic. It could be amazing. But let me know when you guys finish reading it.
Yeah, I've seen some snippets online. Obviously, once the game was announced, and people were kind of getting back into like, oh well, this is what's happened in the story, and this is how they could adapt it into a game. And so, like, it definitely, from the sounds of it, there's a lot that they can pull from, and from like a gameplay perspective, it's kind of almost like an open playground. Really, I mean, they can do a lot of different variations of third-person combat and make it feel pretty fluid. But I do like
gritty.
Like I was just gonna say,
like the comic. I hope it's like
it's gotta be. Yeah, it can't be for kids whatsoever.
No.
Yeah, it's got to be a darker tone, and I love that. As soon as that was like talked about by the developer, I was like, okay, you got my attention.
Give me like a Ghost of Tsushima, Last Ronin.
Yes.
Ninja Turtles.
Oh my god,
that would be dope.
Yeah, dude, that's a great call.
But instead of a horse, you get a skateboard.
I mean,
and it doesn't die.
Hey, it's too soon, Daryl. Too soon, damn it. I don't care how long it's been.
I can't go through that again.
I love that horse.
Still hurts. I love that goddamn horse.
I did. I cried. When
game made me feel
prepared for that.
Yeah,
I was not prepared for that.
No.
Damn these feelings.
Oh man.
Well, sorry, go Jordan.
I was just gonna say, I have one more question for Joey, and this is like we'll call it the bucket list item. If you had all the money in the world and nobody was going to ever say no, from a video game perspective, what is the ideal Joey Toitles game? Like, what does that look like?
Dude, there's so many different ones I want. So I've met Ed Boon out here in Chicago before, who has has been with Mortal Kombat since the beginning.
Yeah,
this is just one of my
Daryl's just losing his mind right now.
Wait,
he's from like I was playing Mortal Kombat like in the arcades in Chicago when like it came out because Midway is based in Chicago. So like all of a sudden these arcades got him. Like there was an arcade I used to go to in like 4th grade. My mom would drop me off for like 4 hours. It was like $2. Fucking unlimited games for like 4 hours. She dropped me off at like 10, picked me up at 2. So like I was there like and this was like every Saturday, and we would go, and then all of a sudden Mortal Kombat showed up, dude. And like nobody saw this shit before. I might have been a little bit younger actually. I don't even remember. So again, I've met him a couple times out here, and I'm like, I was like, oh, Mr. Boone. Like I didn't even call him Ed. I was like so fucking nervous, and like I was talking to him, and I was just like, hey, I just want to thank you so much, for what you've done for the Mortal Kombat community. I was just like talking to him like such a nerd, and he was so sweet about it, dude. But I was like, next time I see him, I go, I need him to make a Tournament Fighters, dude. I need like an updated, like full on, like he put the Turtles in Injustice 2, and like it was an okay. Like they had the right idea. I was like, man, this could be so much more, especially if they were all their own individual turtles. I hated that you had to pick just one, and then you had to play as all
four. That was my gripe too. Yeah.
But imagine if you could give tournament fighters from like Super Nintendo, like the Mortal Kombat 1 treatment. You know what I mean? It'd be fucking insane.
Right.
And like, I think that would be accepted into the fighting community. And who knows, maybe it could compete with Mortal Kombat. Probably not. But I think just depending on, like, that's just one of like my probably 30 video game ideas that I would pay whatever you want, you know, to get that made. Absolutely.
Do you still talk to Mr. Boone?
Daryl's fangirling over here from far.
We text
Daryl's
once in a
been
while,
swooning.
But, you know.
Yeah, Daryl's been swooning for the last 5 minutes.
Daryl's about to
There's a
shit you.
connect somehow that I can talk to this man in real life.
Well,
I need to know.
I'm always hoping he's going to be at C2E2, like our Chicago Comic-Con out here, and he never is. But like,
Yeah.
I think it was last year I got to meet because a couple of these guys are local. I don't know their real names. One's name's Richard, I forgot, but got to meet like the original Kano, Johnny Cage from the Mortal Kombat, the first game. They were at C2E2. It was like $15, dude, for a photo. Like, it was real. I'll have to send it to you guys. And they were super. I think like Sonya Blade was there. Like, I don't know. It was dope though.
Daryl's having a crisis.
Dude, it was like $15.
Daryl's moving to
And
Chicago.
there was no line. There was no line. Because it was just a random booth. It wasn't even like where all the autographs were. Yeah, it was just a random booth.
That's crazy, dude.
But I wouldn't be shocked if they don't come again when C2E2 happens in April.
But Daryl will after that.
Dude, come on. It's going to be fucking... This year's going to be awesome, dude. It's going to be dope.
I need to. Like, this is not like a...
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So the Good Enough Gaming podcast is going to
C2E2.
Road trip.
Dude, holy shit.
Yeah.
Dude, record an episode, dude, live just in the middle of the floor, dude.
Yeah.
Grab a table.
Good as that.
I'll sit in the floor. I don't give a shit.
Just grab a table.
Sit on the concrete floor and fuck it.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
I mean,
you guys know
we're good
so let me know.
at crashing conferences. So.
Yeah, we have done that once.
I'm just going to go to Walmart. I'm going to buy one of those folding tables. We're just going to set it up in the middle of the thing, and we're just going to record.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Done.
I need to meet Ed Boon. That needs to happen.
Dude, he's so nice.
I'm a huge fan. Like I'm a man. You are the Ninja Turtles guy. I live for
so you're telling me I should buy MK1 then?
It's good. I had some gripes at first, but it has really turned a corner for me. I love it. Like I'm
more of a Street Fighter guy, and Street Fighter 6 I fucking am obsessed with, but being a fucking dad, I never fucking play it because every time I do, I forget all the moves. Yeah. And then I was like, oh shit, I'm kicking some ass online. Oh, gotta go to bed.
Wait, I was dreaming.
Yeah.
I got my ass kicked
real
online.
world responsibility.
Guess I won't play this for a month.
Yeah. Seriously, I've played Street Fighter 6. It came out in June, and I love Street Fighter. I have probably played that game maybe half a dozen times, maybe.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to get back into fighting games. I struggle with that. I was talking with Daryl about MK1. Like, I can pick one fighting game a year, if that.
You got to stick with it.
There's just not enough. There's just not enough time to like jump back and forth.
With Mortal Kombat has always been having a fucking block button. I'm like, I hate that. I hate that so much. I'm like, let me just hold back on the joystick, and that covers me.
It's a different system, but it lends itself in other ways. It's like it is the only one that does that, but there are some tricks to it. It's one of the more accessible fighting games, I guess.
But sure, no, it looks great. Like I've been watching just footage of Reptile, and I want it just for him, to be honest.
Oh, Reptile's new design is phenomenal.
We were talking about that today.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna buy. But that's my worry, right? I'm gonna spend $70, dad life, and then you're gonna text me tomorrow, but I still haven't played it. And then like next week, I played it I got past the tutorial, but plan to go to bed. You know what I mean? It's like what progress am I gonna make on a $70 game? You know?
I can tell you that the new mode in the story is worth it alone, but save that for another episode.
Yeah,
I'll probably get it, dude. I probably will.
Coming soon.
We're gonna save that for the Daryl Mortal Kombat episode, where we all just sit here and listen to Daryl fangirl
solo episode.
But Joey, can, like, please, if you have Ed Boon's ear, like, let him know. This dude in Canada that's got this podcast, this real big fan.
Would love to talk to you.
Real big fan.
Have you messaged him?
Love to have him on the show.
Have you messaged him?
No, I need to. I'm scared.
Why not?
I'm
Yeah.
scared.
Scared of
You
what?
should. Fuck it.
He says
You never
no.
know.
Holy shit! At least he even responded. Who cares, dude? You should message
Yeah,
him.
that's true.
That is
Message him,
true.
email him,
Daryl,
dude. Throw something in chat GBT, dude. Just be like, write email to Ed Boon, creator of Mortal Kombat. Tell him I love him. Be on my show, dude. Let them write it for you.
It's actually pretty
I will write
smart.
it yeah, I will write it myself. It will have the
I
good
was
enough
going to say,
flair.
Daryl would be remiss if he did not write it himself.
It's true.
It has to be
It is
It'll have a
true.
good enough flair to it.
Yeah.
You guys come out to C2. You come to the house here, dude. I got my arcade 1-up Mortal Kombat 2, 1, 2, and 3 in the garage, dude. Throw it up. Like,
Oh my God.
The gauntlet is being thrown down. I see how it is.
All right. Good enough. Crashes the Toitle house.
Yeah. Sounds like that sounds like a cartoon episode.
Oh my
It
God.
does. Yeah.
Time to hit the sticks. Here we go.
Good enough hits the sewers.
Hey, it's Chicago. Okay, that's not.
it's not that bad.
What do you think it is? Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Come on.
Oh man. Well, we got like really, really off topic there, but I love it because it's not often we get to see Daryl go.
Yeah. Swoon.
That blew my mind.
Daryl
That's
swooning.
Yeah.
That's a dream. That's a dream meetup for me.
Yeah.
Then Daryl,
I got to wrap this up before Daryl just like.
You got to look this up though too. All you guys got to look it up. But there's a place called Galloping Ghost. It's in Brookfield, Illinois, or like Chicago, Illinois. But it's like a arcade that's probably like 2 blocks long, and you pay like $15.
Whoa.
I mean, there's probably like 200 arcades at least, maybe more. Just shit you can play. But like that's where like Mortal Kombat was big, and like Killer Instinct. Like look them up. Galloping Ghost in Chicago.
Ooh, Killer
Oh,
Instinct.
That would be on the list too.
Galloping Ghosts.
Sweet.
Okay. Oh my God. Well, I know from all of us, Joy, we really appreciate you coming on again, talking all things Toitles. Again, the hat choice, perfect for today.
Awesome.
I appreciate that, guys. No, thank you so much for having me. I fucking have a blast talking to you guys, so I appreciate the opportunity.
We always
Anytime,
appreciate you
man.
coming
You
on.
know that.
Yeah.
Any episode,
Yeah.
if there's a random topic you just need to shoot the shit, we're here.
Dude.
We'll make it happen.
Hey, are you doing
What up?
any like new pins for the new stuff? Like, are you doing anything?
Yeah, actually,
related
I'm
or
Plug anything.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, so man, I'm working on some pre-orders. So there's a Usagi Yojimbo pin. Shout out to Shadow Bay that we're making. Pre-orders are already done, but I should have those in hand like in a week, and then hopefully I'll have leftovers to send out. But that's like the first Yojimbo pin that we're making, which we're really excited about. Shout out to Dad That Games. We're doing a blue shell from Mario Kart. So this is like one of my first like non-Toitle like pins. However, I did make a
Nice.
Are you
variant.
okay? Are you?
Yeah, right. But I did make a Ninja Turtles variant of the shell. So it's the blue shell, right, from Mario Kart. But then I did a pink and green shell, which I thought looked pretty cool.
Nice.
And then
Yeah.
the one pin that I haven't even announced, I haven't shared with anybody yet. I've teased it a little bit. Is
Good enough exclusive.
Yeah.
absolutely, dude. So shout out to Baducci Studios, who lives and is from Australia, but he's currently living in Ohio right now. We're moving out to Ohio for a little bit.
That's a shift.
We're doing a pin. We don't have, yeah, right. We're doing a pin. We don't know what the official name is, but we're thinking of just calling it the Last Slimer. So we turned Slimer from Ghostbusters into the Last Ronin. Where he's got the mask. He's got slime behind him. He's got 4 different elbow color pads, and then he's got all the weapons. And that's in like a green Slimer and then a pink Ninja Toitles version, which I think looks awesome. My plan is not to drop that till holiday. I'm trying to get some stuff together so that way people won't have to pre-order as much is the plan. So that's the plug, Ninja Toitles.
And then we got we had the showcase on the thing of the ooze pins.
Buy that ooze pin.
Yeah.
Sanford Arts.
If that isn't a good enough exclusive, I don't know what is.
That was a Bee-Bop, my friends. That is great.
Yes.
Not a B-flop.
Nope.
No B flops in this house.
There's a pill for that.
No B-flops in this house. I'm just going to say that randomly once to my wife. She's going to be talking. Hey, can you take out the garbage? Hey, listen, there's no B-flops in this house.
It's a Bee-Bop
no
house
context.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, she won't even be asking me questions. Hey, what time's school tomorrow? Hey, no B-flops in this house.
Don't be flopped.
You have to say to your kid before they write a test.
Yeah.
B-flop.
Better get a B+, not a B-flop.
Oh, fuck.
Right.
Holy shit,
God.
that was good.
Okay, well, I think we got to wrap this up before we
ramble.
go on forever.
Can you please name the episode? There's no B-flops in this house, dude. I'm telling you. Who would not want to click on that, dude, and listen?
Yeah, it's like,
what's a B-flop?
There'll definitely be a reel, I'm sure.
The morbid curiosity clip.
Tag me. Tag me as a collaborator so it shows up on my feed as well, dude. Please.
Perfect.
We'll do. Yeah, we'll do.
Well, we've already said thank you, but thank you again. Yeah. It's always great to have you on.
Absolutely.
I hope you had a good enough time, and I think that episode was good enough.
It was good enough. It was a Bee-Bop.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for more content. We also invite you to write an email or join us on Discord to talk about anything from our episodes or something else you would like to discuss in the future. Please subscribe to the Good Enough Gaming Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever else you listen to your podcasts. And remember, we might not be great, but we are good enough.